And good morning. It's 7:03 on this Friday, July 31st. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. It is a Friday morning, and we are glad to have you with us and glad to be on the air for Wilson Bank and Trust. John Foster is with us this morning. John is president of Wilson Bank and Trust, and we welcome you this morning to talk about the bank, do the commercial, as we say. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
And how are things?
Things are well.
Yeah. Well, glad to have you, of course. And I don't know, we've talked about everything but the bank so far.
We have. We covered a lot of ground this morning.
But again, good to see you. What do you got for us today?
Just, I thought maybe I would give a update on the first half of the year. Although we're now a month past that, I was actually scheduled to come out on the 3rd of July, and I think the station was closed that day celebrating the 4th of July.
Oh, that's right.
So I'm a month late getting out here, but
we welcome you anyway.
Well, thank you. I thought at that time, hey, I'll just kind of talk about the first half of the year, which has been obviously a unique first half of the year with all the different challenges we were talking about. Early on, you had the tornado that first week of March, and then got that behind you a couple of weeks, and then coronavirus started being pretty active here, and since then it's obviously been a lot of challenges, but we've learned a lot and grown a lot, as you do in those things. So.
Well, you are still here, you're still independent, and you're still committed to everybody.
That's exactly right. One of the big things I think the first half of the year that we spent a lot of time on at the bank, and really had different people or different employees come in from all areas of the bank and all over our footprint, from Nashville to Cookeville, Murfreesboro, Charleston County, would come to Lebanon and work on the those PPP loans that you heard so much about, that the government put out, which was the Paychecks Protection Program. And we spent a lot of time on that the first half of the year, and hopefully, we think, not hopefully, we know that had an impact on our communities that we serve, with people that were able to get those funds and still continue to pay their employees, and hopefully still paying them today. So that took a lot of our time and effort. Now comes the fun part of working to help those customers get those loans forgiven, which was the plan all along with the government. So that's going to start hopefully in the next couple of weeks. The official date for that is August 10th is what the government says today, but that could change.
Are you prepared?
We are, and we will. There's still some fine tuning, but we'll be ready certainly within a few days of that. That's if nothing else changes, which has been the case with several of those programs.
You know, I think about you occasionally when you were at the Gladeville office, and you made it up to the big house.
That's right, big time, Lebanon.
And now you're I guess we could say the number 2 man. You're president. And did you ever dream of this when you started?
Honestly, no. I thought if I could work there at Gladeville and be at home, that'd be a dream job. If I could just do that the rest of my life. At the time I started, I thought that'd be fine. And just opportunities became available. I've been very blessed, that's for certain.
Well, the bank has grown a lot, and you have expanded all this time. I don't think there's a year you haven't had some kind of expansion. And
history would say that, we've got now 28 actual offices, and we've been open, 33 years. So that's not quite one office a year, but it's close to that. And that's generally what we've done, is opened about an office a year.
Well, what kind of curve has the coronavirus been? Have you still been able to be very productive and have a good 6 months?
I would say, no doubt, we've had a just great growth in both deposits and loans. Honestly, it's a record year, which is amazing knowing what's going on. But I guess the curveball, you would say, would be anything related to community events.
Yeah.
That's so big in what we do, and we hadn't been able to do any of that. So we've had to readjust and kind of plan for what next year looks like, and hopefully be able to pull all that back together. Our travel program is a big part, that we do with seniors, that they take trips all over the country, really all over the world, and all that's had to be stopped for the time being. So those type of things is where you would say there's
Brandy
a curveball.
still have a job.
Brandy's still working. She's there every day.
I knew the answer.
She knows everybody in Wilson County, I think. So,
but I'm sure she's planning for.
She is. She's planning for the future and what next year will look like. And you still get a lot of calls, because what we had not done is gone out and just said, hey, we're not traveling for the rest of the year. We've kind of played it by ear, because any plans you make more than about 30 days out, there's a lot of uncertainty to that. So she's still fielding calls for what the last half of the year looks like. But
Well, we've talked about the first half. As you look to the second half, and 5 months now, really about left.
Right.
What's that going to bring us?
our whole, who knows, Coleman? No, I think the good news about our bank is, of course, we're such a conservative, stable place that we think there's still plenty of opportunities there for growth over the next year. Mortgage rates are extremely low right now. Actually, they're at record lows as well. So our mortgage department is just volumes through the roof there. So we think that's a positive. We still feel like we'll have growth in deposits. Some folks have been scared of the market and have pulled money out of there, and then just sitting on cash right now because of the uncertainty. So we think we'll have growth there. So really, our outlook is very positive. There'll be some bumps in the road, probably related to customers that are struggling in their small businesses, and there'll be some struggles there, but we'll work through it.
Well, you seem to have a very positive attitude, and I think that we can say that of the bank too. But if the guy at the top is very positive, the others are probably going to fall in line. And
well, they say this too shall pass. It's not going to last forever. So.
Well, we about ended our time here, but John, thanks so much for being with us today. Good report. Always good to see you, and just keep up the good work.
Well, thank you, Coleman. Thank y'all for having us out.
John Foster, President at Wilson Bank and Trust, of course, member FDIC, equal housing lender, Middle Tennessee's community bank with excellence in banking since 1987. Thank you so much. All right, Brandon Beller is my guest, and he is paying for the time again, candidate for circuit court judge. And here on I believe the last day of early voting, we welcome you. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. It is the last day for early voting today.
Well, tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Oh, I stand to be corrected there. But we'll give people a little encouragement if they haven't to get going. Well, how you don't look too worn for wear, although I think it's been a kind of grueling time for you because I know you've been working hard.
Well,
and that might be putting it mildly.
I've still got a smile on my face, so hopefully that's indicative that I've not overdone it too much. So,
well, you've been here as my guest. I think this is the fourth time, maybe plus one that we gave you to talk about that, and certainly appreciate that. But as I've told you before, you're paying for the time. Whatever you want to talk about is fine, and I'm not sure where we want to start. But we do know the early voting is about to end, and election is next Thursday. And next Thursday night, we'll find out how it's all come out.
Well, that's it. That night we'll know the results. So we'll see how.
Do you feel pretty confident at this point?
I'm at peace about the election. That's and I think that's the key thing. And we've worked hard. You always go back and you think, well, what would I have done different? And I'm really struggling to think what I would have done different. We've had a lot of good people that have helped us out, and you get into this and you don't realize the amount of work and the amount of people that it requires in order to run an effective campaign. Of course, as you're well aware, I'm running as a nonpartisan independent candidate, and that's always it's a different style of running that type of campaign versus having to run, say, just a purely political campaign from a party standpoint. You have different organizational structures. So ours has been largely comprised of just everyday people in the legal system, people in different pockets and groups in different communities throughout Wilson County and all the counties.
Well, I'm sure you want to remind everybody again about the Bar Association's poll, because that is one of the things that really stands out here in this campaign.
Well, it is, and it's I guess the trial lawyer tendency in me uses when I look at when we were involved in this campaign, we want to put together pieces of, okay, well, what is it that you want to tell the people that because you want to emphasize your qualifications,
right?
And the survey to me is is a strong piece of evidence. It's one of those glaring pieces of evidence that you just can't overlook. I've heard people try to water it down a little bit. They say things, well, they say all the lawyers are Democrats. And I'm going, really? And there was 75 attorneys in this, and I don't think they're all Democrats. I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of Republicans and Democrat attorneys in Wilson County. I know there are. I mean, I've talked to them, but that survey does speak volumes.
Well, out of, I believe it was 75 people, 71 recommended you,
Yes, sir.
94.7%, something like that.
Yes, sir.
And again, it wasn't just a who are we for? There were, I believe, 4 different categories that went through there, which you explained last time you were here, and you did well on all 4 of them.
Right, and there were 4 primary categories that were emphasized. And of course, the first being the experience in the law, and that's something that they were asked to look at about who is the most experienced candidate, and my marks were very high in that category. I was using a 5-point scale, and I think my average came out to be something in the neighborhood of 4.5 across the board in all the categories. But in experience, we had a high score in that, and that goes back to the things that I've been saying about just the body of law that I've had to deal with over the course of my career. Oh, and by the way, I've been saying that I've practiced law almost 25 years. Well, as of today, it's 25 years. so
25 years ago today you started.
25 years ago, I took the bar, and just I think it was a Friday. I want to think it was a Friday. It was the last day of the exam, and on Monday morning I'm at work. so it went straight from the frying pan into the fire.
Time for us to take a break here. Brandon Beller, candidate for Circuit Court Judge, is here. We got a lot more to talk about after this break on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:17. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. I want to thank Bates Ford at regular oil change $24.95, up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal. Plus, they'll pick up and deliver your vehicle back to you absolutely free. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. We're still looking live at this crash out here in Rutherford County. It's a white pickup truck. It went really hard into the wall head on here on 24 westbound at Highway 231 here at Shelbyville Highway. Again, this is in Rutherford County. Starting to pick up now, leaving Wilson County down I-40 through Mount Juliet, Apache Trail, and Cinnamon Way. That's South Nashville, and a 2-car crash at that intersection. Bars Music City Soul Food now open behind that Bank of America on Nolensville Pike at OHB. Check them out, barsmusiccitysoulfood.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
The Pavilion Senior Living residents are inviting you to become their new neighbor. If you're looking for a sign to move, call us at 444-5556 to learn more about the details. Or go to thepavilionseniorliving.com for more information. Or better yet, just drop by 1408 Medical Center Drive right behind Tenova Hospital and see for yourself. You should move here.
This is Glenn Denton, candidate for School Board, Zone 5. I'd so much appreciate your vote. I believe in loyalty to all, that I will represent you uncompromising. Opportunity for all. I will stand for our teachers and for our employees, and I will see that they're treated fairly. Responsibility above all. People will be held accountable for the things they do. I encourage you today that if you will make the change, I will do my best to make the difference. Vote Glenn Denton for School Board, Zone 5, paid for by Glenn Denton for School Board, Zone 5.
With churches not being able to gather, we wanted to make sure our audience is aware of our regular Sunday morning programming. We call it God's Country. Starting at 7 to 7:15, it's Southern Gospel and Positive Country Music. Then at 7:15 to 7:30, Old Path Missionary Baptist with Brother Jason Wheely. From 7:30 to 8, it's The Gospel Show, hosted by Miss Dean. 8 o'clock, it's College Hills Church with Minister Wilson McCoy. At 8:30 to 9, it's Word of God broadcast by Ronnie Briley. Assembly. From 9 to 9:30, Hillcrest Baptist Church with Pastor John Ferguson. From 9:30 to 10:30, it's Call on God Today, hosted by Brother Kenneth Bowen. At 10:30, it's another message from College Hills Church. From 11 to 11:30, Maple Hill Church with Minister Rob Long. And from 11:30 to noon, it's Southern Gospel and Positive Country Music. Join us each Sunday on WANT or WCOR or online at WANTFM.com.
This is Coleman Walker inviting you to join Judge Barry Tatum and me for live election coverage starting when the polls close at 7 p.m. on August 6th. It's brought to you by A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction, Burdine Supply, Designer Carpets, Partlow Funeral Chapel, Powell and Meadows Insurance, Steve Mull Plumbing, and the Wilson Post. Join us for live election coverage August 6th starting at 7 p.m. on WANT FM 98.9 and WCOR AM 1490. Coleman & Company, we thank you for joining us and here on a Friday morning. Brandon Beller here to continue his discussion about being a candidate for a circuit court judge. Where you want to go next this morning?
Well, we started with the bar survey. Of course, the other areas of the categories that we had discussed, there was the experiential value that just simply that, and of course that goes back to a lot of the jury trial experience that I've had. My opponent just admitted he's had no jury trial experience, and we've emphasized that pretty heavy because the circuit court judge, that's what they do. They try the jury trials. Everything is geared toward the jury trial. Of course, in today's world in which we live, getting jury trials scheduled is a little bit more difficult than what it used to be.
Yeah.
And I'd say a lot more difficult to be honest about it. It's and of course, you hear these discussions all the time about are we going to maybe go from a 12-person jury to a 6-person jury? There's talk about that, and of course, when you hear those rumblings and those, I guess, the rumors, maybe you get a little concerned because we've had a well-established precedent in our state to maintain the 12-person jury format, and there's a good reason for that because you want to have anytime you have a jury of peers, you want to have as great a diversity as you can in order to get to those decisions. So, but at the same time, there's also that understanding of particularly in order to administrate the docket. What do we need to do in order to get the cases moving again? And of course, a lot of times, I think your bar cooperating with the permission of their clients to maybe waive the 12-person jury, go to a bench trial in cases that need that a bench trial would be appropriate, or even a 6-person jury format. So, because quite frankly, one of the problems you've had is getting people to impanelage the juries. That's a problem because a lot of people don't want to get into that environment with other people. So other places where you can social distance is where the juries are being panels are being called into. But some of the other areas that we had discussed, the ethics is important. That was another category which I was rated higher than my opponent in. Ethics is just simply those things that are how you, just for lack of a better description, just doing what's right. There's things like being candid with a court, a tribunal, characteristics for being honest, for even though a lot of years before there were any rules of ethics, some of the things that had happened, and it's not across the board, but you may have a person or two that doesn't necessarily play by the rules.
Yeah.
And there's got to be some form of order in place to assure that there's a fundamental fairness when amongst the bar, between the bar and the bench, between the bar and clientele, the bar and the public, judges and the public. So rules of ethics are are set out to regulate that, both with the judicial conduct and with attorney conduct, and that's always important. So it's still a civil, and we want to a system that we have. We want to maintain civility in a courtroom, and that's one of the fundamental thrusts of the rules of ethics. Of course, the other areas with the knowledge of the law, again, that I scored the highest in that from the bar, from the local lawyer's standpoint, just simply having the amount of experience I've had, and a lot of that I attribute to the amount of jury trials. Getting a jury trial together takes a lot of effort, energy. It takes a lot of legal research. It's surprising the different bodies of law that you have to have knowledge of, rules of evidence, rules of civil procedure. What does your statutory law say? What does your common law say? What does your case law say? You may get into an area of administrative law. These are all areas that you have to have some base working knowledge in order to properly function at the level of circuit court judge. As we discussed before, John Wooten was always a student of the law, and he came out of the district attorney's office, but he was always willing to learn, and it would surprise me, given a lot of things, how rapidly he excelled in the area of civil law, given the fact that he came out of the DA's office. He just learned. He just took the time to learn and study, and that's to his credit. And that's something you never lose over the course of your practice. You're always having to develop and learn more and more and more every year, because law, as we realize, a lot of times changes. It doesn't need to change rapidly. It needs to change slowly over time. I think we can get into a discussion about judicial activism versus a conservative thought process from the bench. And I've espoused several times that I'm from the old school. I'm the big believer in constitutional rights and not upending something that's well established already in our legal system, which is our constitutions.
Well, again, we've got today and tomorrow for early voting, election next week, and as the campaign winds down, you certainly are hopeful. You really want this position.
Well, sure, and it from the very beginning, I've always it may sound maybe very elementary, but we need good judges and good judges that are willing to serve the people that by whom they're elected, and even those that if you get on the bench, even though someone have been against you, you still have to be fair and impartial to that person. You have to be neutral you can't hold grudges. You can't. I use the illustration of you have the scales of justice. Well, a judge has to look at the scales of justice and make sure they balance. You can't put your finger on one side or the other to make it come out to be something that you want it to be. You have to separate your own personal opinion in some areas in order to administrate effectively, and that requires you having the ability to be honest with yourself, be objective, be open-minded, and not predisposed to, I'm going to rule this way because that's the way I want it to be.
Yeah.
That's not the function of a judge.
You think your 25 years here mean a lot to be able to do that?
I think it's the first 25 as well. I think it's all 50 of them. Yes, absolutely. I think the 25 years in as a legal career, but it's more than just that. There's so many life and living stories that you can tell that I guess what they say, the school of hard knocks will teach you more than anything. And I think that's one of the things that really, marriage, children, things that go on in your life, that personal things that teach you lessons. Yeah. Particularly, I think the lessons in humility, and with humility breeds wisdom, and I think that's something that over time you just develop in.
We got about a minute and a half. It's time to close out. I guess this will be the last time you'll be here to be my guest to talk about your candidacy. We'll find out how it all turns out next Thursday night, of course.
Well, I may come back. Well, just again, I appreciate everyone for listening, and I think that we really have wanted to make sure we got our message out. We want to keep our judiciary independent, free from partisan politics, and one of the things that you with partisan politics, you always have the concerns that you get a political judge versus a judge that's based in qualification, and that's always the thing that we always concern ourselves with, particularly as an advocate, particularly as an attorney. I want to stand in front of someone that, like all the attorneys that I've talked to, every one of them will tell you, said, we just want someone to be fair. We want them to be fair. We want them to be impartial, and that's our two messages. Keep the politics out of the judiciary. Vote according to qualifications, and just understand that this person, Brandon Beller, as a candidate, I will be fair and impartial, and that's something that I hold to and continue to hold to, and that's not going to change regardless of the outcome of the election.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us this morning. You are on the ballot as an independent, and Brandon Beller, candidate for Circuit Court Judge. Thanks for being with us again.
Thank you, Coleman.
That is part one of Coleman and Company. Hope you'll keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
All right, it's now 7:29. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota and Rental. Large inventory of new and used Kubota mowers, RTVs, tractors, hay equipment, and more. Come in Saturday. Free popcorn. Check out the new Kubota products. 1325 West Main. Now at traffic. Let's check in with Chuck.
Well, good morning. They just opened up all lanes of traffic here in Rutherford County on 24 westbound at Highway 231. It's been struggling coming from Lebanon there on I-40 westbound just past 840 on a stalled vehicle that had traffic really tied up in that part of Wilson County. Apache Trail, Cinnamon Way, that records in its clearing stages. Hey, Bar's Music City Soul Food is now open behind that Bank of America on Nolensville Pike at OHB. Check it out, barsmusiccitysoulfood.com. I'm Commander Chuck, your on-time traffic.
In times of crisis, and especially when you're isolated, it helps to know someone has your best interest at heart. At Wilson Bank and Trust, standing strong for others has always been one of our most important roles, and we're still here for you now. Through these days of disruption and distancing, you can count on us to keep you connected with your financial services, and we'll continue to provide financial relief for households and businesses. Thanks for supporting our ongoing commitment to service. Working together, we'll weather this storm too. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Someday you may wake up and think, I'm running out of time to do something about retirement. Waypoint Financial Partners can help you do something now that may provide a solid future for you and your family. Waypoint, your future, your way. For more information, call the Lebanon office of Waypoint Financial Partners at 615-444-6548. Securities and investment advisory services offered through AXA Advisors, LLC, 314-4600. Member FINRA, SIPC.
During this pandemic, people have cleaned out their closets, decluttered their homes, and improved their landscaping.
Well, now since your home is looking good, maybe you should think about selling it, but you don't have a clue what you might could get for it.
You can call us to come out and give you a market value price with no obligation.
Remember, don't make a move without us.
Call Judy Cox or Medina Himmentoller at Exit Rocky Top Realty, C&D Team, 443-3130.
My name is John Hunn, and I've spent 17 of my 57 years in Wilson County. All 4 of my children are Lebanon High School grads. Lexus and I care deeply about public education, and that's why I support my friend Larry Tomlinson. I'm so thankful that he's been a voice for all students, regardless of where they live or their economic status. I'm also thankful as well that he's always been available to discuss education topics reasonably and rationally. He has a proven record that speaks for itself. I hope you will vote for my friend, Larry Tomlinson.
Paid for by the committee to elect Larry Tomlinson, Kathy Adams, treasurer.
Showers and storms are in the forecast today, a few of which could be on the strong side, so make sure to stay weather aware. Also, I can't rule out some strong storms on Saturday as well. Temperatures on Friday and Saturday will top out in the mid-80s. On Sunday, rain chances do back off. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty. Professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist TJ Scott.
Good company, welcome. It is part 2 here on Friday morning. Dana Hemingway joins us to talk about her favorite team. That's the C&D team.
That's right.
Exit Rocky Top Really. Good morning.
Good morning.
It is good to see you. I hope things are going well.
Going great. We've had a great week. This week, every week's a great week, but this week has been especially fun.
Must mean you closed one or two.
Oh, yeah, just a couple. But yes, we've had a great week. We've had a fun week.
Yeah.
This week we were at the Senior Citizen Center, and we did 50s Day, which
Oh.
was so much fun.
Okay.
You got to be outside of yourself that day, and it was fun.
It was fun. It was fun.
Yes. Yes.
Well, Teresa follows you this morning. So.
It was fun.
It was fun, and you know, people came up to me and said they didn't know that they were looking for my leopard on me.
Oh.
And you know, and I had my 50s gear on, and I had my leopard little bow tie or tie for my ponytail back there, and I had some leopard everywhere else. So, you know, many people didn't see leopard in the 50s.
No.
But yes, but I had it on
Okay.
this week.
All right.
It was there.
Whatever.
It was there, yes. But we had a good time with the senior citizens, just handing out goodies to them as they came by and picked up their lunch this week. And it's just good to see them, you know, get out and have fun. We even had a couple get out and dance.
No.
You know, outside the car. So that was always fun. So, you know, me and Judy always say, if you can't have fun, you might as well not even do it.
Yeah, all right. Well, y'all, it does show you invest in the community. You're part of it. You take part in the Cedar. Oh, come on, Senior Citizen Center.
There you
is
go.
One of those places. Okay.
There you go.
The Lebanon Senior Citizen
All
Center.
right, all
The
right.
best.
That's right.
Well, you got a listing for us this morning.
Yes, I have a listing at 131 Springfield. It's in Farmington Woods. And if you're wanting to be in a subdivision, in a area with lots of children and just nice homes and off of Maple Hill Road, then Farmington Woods is the place you want to be. This one is a little bit over 3,200 square feet, and it is 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. The master is downstairs. The rest of them are up. You could have a second master upstairs. Then the kitchen has granite countertops, tile floors. There's carpet in the bedrooms. There's hardwood everywhere else. There's a covered back porch and a covered front porch with a wraparound on one side. Of a wraparound porch on one side. But that is listed at $484,900. So it is immaculate. All you need to do is bring your stuff and move in. You don't have to do anything else to it. It's what we call a white glove clean. So it's been well maintained. It's also got a 2-car garage, but it's been well maintained. So, you know, this is the house for you if you're wanting to be in Farmington Woods.
Well, if you want to know more, you can always call Medina, 443-3130. Somebody answers the phone 24/7. You're easily accessible.
Oh, always. Always got our phones on our hands and our pockets or somewhere. So yes. And one more thing I wanted to shout out. You know, when you grow up, you always have a cousin that you do everything with, and they're more like a sister than a cousin.
Yeah.
Well, that one is
Or maybe in my case, brother.
very brother. Well, I didn't have any sisters, so this was the closest thing to being a sister. And she lived across the street from me, and we grew up together. And today is her birthday,
Who would that be?
and it is Lisa Michelle Eubanks Nave. It's Dr. Nave's wife.
Lisa Nave.
Lisa Nave,
All
that's right. So she is the big 51 today. So I'm not going to crucify her too bad because I'm right behind her. So I'm not going to say too much.
Payback is rough.
I know. So, but anyway, today is her birthday. So she's a special cousin of mine. So
Okay. Well,
I just
good.
wanted to give a shout out to her. But yeah, anytime that you're looking for a land or a house or anything in real estate, commercial, residential, give us a call. We'd be glad to help you to buy or sell or list or whatever. We're here. We're the girls to call you, to call
The
us.
C&D team of Exit Rocky Top Realty, and you're not the biggest. You don't want to be.
No.
You're not the smallest either, but
No.
you're just about the right size, I think.
Hey, big things come in small packages, so that's what we are.
Well, you do your best to provide great service, and I think the results show that because you've had some great years, and this one is a great one.
Yes, even through everything's going on, it's been a great year, and people are still moving in and moving out, and people's changing jobs and everything. So, yeah, we're still moving and doing our thing.
All right, is that about it?
I think that's about it.
There's always one thing you have
right.
to leave the people, especially if you are here.
That's right.
And that is?
Don't make a move without us.
All right. She gets the last word every day, and thank you so much, Medina
you,
Hematola. C&D team, Exit Rocky Top Realty. They're on West Main Street. Great people, great service, people you can trust. 21 minutes before the hour. You've already heard her voice. Terrific Teresa is here from the Lebanon Senior Citizen Center, Activities Director, among other things. And good morning, and how are you?
I'm a car hop, and I'm a DoorDash lately these days. You know, we haven't opened our doors yet, but we are having so much fun. If you have not been coming and picking up lunch at the Lebanon Senior Center, you're getting a lot more bang for your buck than the $4 lunch. Medina mentioned that they were there. We have had, I thought, it'd be really fun to get some of our sponsors out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that every day at lunch, they probably got a treat that was of more value than the $4 that they paid for their lunch even. We have had great sponsors. And I want to mention those that we've had. And when you say, well, what are you talking about lunch pickup? We are doing curbside pickup. You just drive through, and Patty and Elena and I will be standing outside, and we are taking your lunch money, and we are giving you your lunch. We do ask that you call the day before by 4 o'clock, and that way we know how many to prepare for, because we're still doing homebound meals as well. And at this time, we have 6 different routes, and we are sending out about 70 meals every morning to homebound members that are delivered right to their door.
That you'd always been doing, or been doing for a long, long time.
Yes.
Hasn't really changed.
No, we have done homebound meals, and this is not Meals on Wheels. That's a whole different program that operates somewhere else in our city, but this is homebound meals, and that was going on when I started in Coleman. In October, it will be 19 years I have been there. And we've been delivering homebound meals. It kind of goes up and down. The numbers vary from 45 to maybe 50. But during this time, and so many of our seniors didn't want to get out. Yeah. And we are delivering about 70 meals every day now. And and it's all within the city limits of Lebanon. And we have to be thoughtful of our volunteers because, it's their gas and their car that they deliver. And I've been getting out and taking the meals down to Saddlebrook Apartments. And a couple of the ladies meet me downstairs with the shopping cart, and they go hang the lunches on the door for me so that I don't go in and take any germs into Saddlebrook, although I hope I don't have any germs. It's really been great for those people, and it keeps them at home because a lot of them are just not wanting to get out. Yeah. And so we are doing those homebound meals, and then we are doing the curbside pickup.
And the curbside pickup has not been all the time you've been closed, but
we started that late June, I think. So we've probably been doing it a month, I'd say, at this point. Okay. Late June, I would say. But it's working well. Oh, it is. This week we have had so much fun. Last week we have had so much fun. I want to mention, I have really wonderful sponsors, and I say it all the time. I feel so blessed to live and work in Lebanon, Tennessee, and Wilson County, Tennessee, because it is very seldom that I call that I get a no. And if I get a no, it is so sad, too bad for you, because I will never call you back again. And you missed out. If you don't come spend an hour with me and all my fun little seniors, you missed out. Judy and Medina and their crew from Exit Rocky Top had so much fun. We played music and they handed out bags. And I would say the value of each bag they handed out was probably $10. They had Chick-fil-A gift cards. They had Snow White gift cards. You missed it, Coleman. I hate it. You could have gotten ice cream for free at Snow White and Sonic. And you missed it.
When was that?
They came on Tuesday, I
this
think.
week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And, I mean, it was, their bags were just packed full of goodies.
Well, let me tell you, Tuesday of this week.
You had your cataract surgery. Right. I knew you were going to have that done again. Well, yeah, I might save you a bag. I might. You should come pick up spaghetti today because I did have a few bags left. And we have got people that come every day, and we have got people that just come when it's something they like. We have had more fun. Can I talk about my sponsors, or should we take a break first?
Go ahead and talk. I think we'll get this in.
Okay, well, we have had Cigna Health Spring, and they handed out circle word books, and that was a really big success. People loved those. They were like, oh, I mean, what else are you going to do when you're sitting at home? And then Abby with Amedesis came, and she is one of our really big bingo sponsors. And everybody was so excited just to see Abby. And she handed out really nice goodie bags. Then Michael with Elmcroft came and handed out really nice goodie bags. And we didn't have anybody for the next day. And he had so much fun. He said, please, 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 can I come back and do it tomorrow too? Oh. And he came back and did it. I mean, it's just fun. These seniors are so excited to see us, and it's just fun. Then Judy Stafford with Blackwell Realty came, and she handed out scratch-off lottery tickets. Oh. That's kind of her claim to fame when she comes and does bingo, is that Judy Stafford, everybody that wins gets one little scratch-off ticket. Well, Cheryl texted me and said, whoa, Teresa, Ralph and I both won. They won $35 off of their scratch-off tickets where they paid their $4 for their lunch that day. And I don't know who else won. Nobody else ever. Well, I take that back. One of my men said, I don't know how to do this. And I scratched his off for him, and he won 4 more free tickets. Oh. So I don't know if he won anything else or not. But, that was so much fun. The Pavilion Senior Living, Victoria came, and we had a great time with her. So when Judy and Medina came and the gang from Exit Rocky Top Realty, we also had Jackie Murphy there, who is our Register of Deeds. And Jackie was handing out lemonade and honey buns. And so Judy and Medina brought the hula hoops for 50s Day, and I've got good pictures on my Facebook page of Jackie Murphy with the hula hoop. Uh-oh. That girl can hula hoop. Of course, she's little and skinny, and she had the moves going on. But we were so excited to have them. Hearthside was there on Wednesday. And I'll tell you a little story. I got some stories to tell you after the break about a lot of these. But Sean and Janet from Hearthside came, and they had a great time. We had so much fun. Yesterday, I had the Lebanon Police Department there. And we had a ball. It started raining. I had these 2 great, big, tall, dark, handsome police officers, and they moved the tables out of the rain for me. And it was a lot of fun. And I loved having the police officers there, and I loved the responses from my seniors from having the police officers there. Everybody that came through was appreciative of them taking the time and appreciative of everything they do, and just the support for our local first responders was amazing. Today, I've got Christy from Lebanon Center for Rehab and Healing. Used to be Lebanon Health and Rehab. And I know we're going to have fun today, and we've already got like 45 people that have called in for that big old plate of spaghetti for $4. So it's going to be a good day today as well.
All right. Let's take a break.
Let's take a break.
Teresa Watts with the Lebanon Senior Citizen Center here, and more coming up on Coleman and Company FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:47. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford, and they've got the low price tire guarantee on all tires every day. Up to 30 days after the sale, there'll be any competitor's pricing on the tires they sell. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. It's been a bit of a struggle out here for the last 20 minutes or so on 40 westbound at 840, leaving Lebanon, Wilson County, trying to get up through there from that stalled vehicle that was blocking the right lane. That's 40 westbound at 840 there in Wilson County. Still on the scene of an accident there at Apache Trail at Cinnamon Way. That should be out of there in just a few more minutes. Hey, Prince's Hot Chicken is the original hot chicken in Middle Tennessee. Check them out online at princeshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
This is Coleman Walker inviting you to join Judge Barry Tatum and me for live election coverage starting when the polls close at 7 p.m. on August 6th. It's brought to you by A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction, Burdine Supply, Designer Carpets, Partlow Funeral Chapel, Powell & Meadows Insurance, Steve Mull Plumbing, and the Wilson Post. Join us for live election coverage August 6th starting at 7 p.m. on WANT FM 98.9 and WCOR AM 1490.
Hey, this is State Senator Mark Pody. With everything that's going on, I just want to encourage everybody to please be safe and use common sense as the state begins to reopen. We need to get our economy going again. If you have any underlying pre-existing health conditions or issues, or if you're age 60 or older, you need to use the precautions that you feel are needed. Be patient when you go into your local businesses, and remember, we're all in this together. If you all need any kind of service, please give me a call. This is Mark Pody.
Gregory Dental in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from University Medical Center. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
My name is Brandon Beller, and I'm a candidate for Circuit Court Judge. I would appreciate your vote. Early voting has begun, and Election Day is August the 6th. We need a good judge, a judge with common sense, a judge that will be fair and impartial to everyone. I'm that candidate. I'm the judge for the people, and I certainly would appreciate your vote. Thank you for your support.
Paid for by the Committee of Brandon Beller for Circuit Court Judge. Jeremy Hassler, Treasurer.
Coleman and Company, it's a Friday morning in our final segment here now at 8 o'clock. Terrific Teresa is, well, terrific is her nickname, sort of. Teresa Botts, Activities Director, among other things, at the Lebanon Senior Citizen Center. All right, you have... the fact that the seniors haven't been able to go over there and congregate, and this has been, what was it, into
March the 12th was our last day to be open.
Okay.
It has been so long. I would have never dreamed in all my life that we would have ever had to close our doors. And it's been tough. It's been tough on our staff. We miss them. Every time we walk through the dining room, we all just kind of go, oh, and I've been doing some exercise videos, just of my little exercise class, and it's hard. I go in this room all by myself with my little tripod and my phone, and I'm so used to having an audience when I do my exercise class, and I just kind of pretend like my phone is my audience and they're all watching. But it's been tough. It's been so hard. A lot of the seniors have really struggled with it physically. They're not getting up and they're not being active. And, if you don't use it, you lose it. And that's what I've really stressed in my exercise videos. And I know from experience, because I was doing the other day my stand up 10 times without pushing up with your hands, using that top part of your legs. And I did that twice. So I did it 20 times. And I haven't been doing it. Now, Randy and I have been getting out and walking, and I've been doing, some of my, things, my exercise. But to just sit down and do those exercises, I don't do them if I'm not in a room full of people watching me do them.
Well, it's pretty boring, to be honest.
It is. It is all by yourself. Yeah. And my legs were so sore the next day, and I laughed, and I said, okay, y'all, I was sore because I am not doing these exercises either.
I used to do push-ups every morning, but so long ago, I done forgot.
Come and get in that floor and do those push-ups. I do sissy push-ups with my knees on the floor, but I still try to get in the floor and do those to try to keep these arms working, so I can wear my sleeveless shirts that look pretty bad anyway. But I learned a long time ago from Miss Opal Ware. She would wear her little sleeveless shirts and her little arms were all wrinkledy and she was so cute. She goes, honey, I am 80 whatever years old and I look 80 whatever years old and I'm okay with it. And I said, I think I want to be that way when I grow up too. And I think I'm going to. So I have learned well.
Well, it's been different, and you've talked a lot about some of the things that you have done. Is Patty involved with most of what you're doing as well, or is she on the other planet there?
Well, a lot of our staff is not there. Our office staff, the only office staff that was originally there when we closed are Patty and I. Yeah. And Elena Sherwood, who has been a volunteer with us for forever, has come on staff with us, and she knows the ropes. She knows everything we do. And she has been amazing. She just jumps right in there with us. And Patty has been off this week and a couple of days last week. And Elena and I are just handling it just because that's what we do. And
Elena has a very positive attitude, and it fits right in.
And I am one of those kind of people that I don't wait for somebody to say, hey, I think we need to do this. If I see something that needs to be done, I just jump in there and do it. And I don't and don't ask questions. And Elena is that way. I never have to say, hey, why don't you go? Or, hey, have you? Because she will, and she's already done it. Yeah. If I say, hey, have you got the deposit ready yet? Well, yeah, it's done, So it really has been great. And that's kind of what it takes when you have a really tiny staff anyway. But, and Patty is having to do a lot of the accounts payable and all those kind of things that she had an office manager to do. Oh. So she's doing a lot more of the clerical work. We're still writing grants. Maureen has stepped into Sandy's role as our senior services coordinator. And we have a big grant with the West End Foundation that has been due, and we had to get that grant done. And so a lot of times Patty sits at her desk and she'll work on that stuff, and she lays it on my desk and says, hey, proof this for me. And then, I'll say, oh, add this or take that out. And Maureen is really great at writing the grants. And the Bob Black's Foundation, and I don't remember the name, I don't do the grants, but they have been so great to give us money to help us feed these seniors. We're still doing food boxes. We still have a lot of seniors that don't want to get out and go shopping. And the numbers have gone up, and I understand that. And we go shopping for them. We deliver the meals to their houses. I mean, the boxes of food. Maureen left yesterday and shopped for a gentleman and delivered the food and supplies for him. And, that's just what we've been doing. And we're trying to be real uplifting. We were doing the Facebook Lives, and then we started doing the lunches, and we don't have time to do them as often. But I am doing an exercise class every Wednesday at 1. But, the great thing about that is it goes into our video library, and it's there forever. And it's a good thing, and then it may not be a good thing. When you do Facebook Live, it is what it is. And if you...
kind of like radio here.
I have watched myself, and I flip my hair, and I scratch my nose, and I blink my eyes a lot, and my hands move all the time. And it's like, oh, Teresa, you would never be very good on television. But it is fun to go back and watch those exercise videos and catch up on your exercises. Yeah. So if anybody wants to do that, I've got Mark Caruth on several sing-alongs. If you just need to be uplifted, we do a lot of the good old church gospel songs. Get on our Facebook video library and watch those. One of them was we did Sideways, and we didn't even know it. And so you can look at me and Mark sideways. We're still cute sideways, But it's been real challenging, but we've not missed a day of work. And a lot of them just want to call us and talk to us. Yeah. And when they drive through, they really want to talk.
Well, we got about 3 minutes left here. I was just thinking here, a couple, maybe 6 weeks ago, we were thinking of getting open again. And then it kind of, the coronavirus had more people affected, more people testing positive for it and all that, and everything got put on hold. And have you heard anything lately?
Governor Lee put out a decree back in July that senior centers were to stay closed until August the 29th. We felt like it was important to follow his lead and his rules. Some of the senior centers are not following that, but we feel like we owe it to our people and our members to follow the rules of our government leaders. And Mayor Bernie Ashe says we follow the governor's rules. So August the 29th may be, it may be our last day to be closed. And I'm planning September just like we're going to be open. And of course, I've planned every month like we were going to be open, and I was wishing and hoping. But hopefully, September the 1st, we'll at least get to open the dining room. Restaurants are open, and if we social distance, I have suggested the last week of July to open the dining room and act like a restaurant. Not open the center for anything but just the food. So maybe they'll let us do that, and maybe that'll kind of help lead us in, not the last week of July, the last week of August. I don't even know where I am anymore. But so maybe we'll get to do that, and bring everybody back in and just see how it goes. The biggest thing is we just don't have a lot of staff right now. It'll be me and Patty and Elena. But let me mention who I've got this week coming up. I have got Monday, Wilson Bank and Trust. Brandy and Talisha are coming over. So Brandy is traveling, just traveling across town to see us. And Talisha even said yesterday, hey, give us a day next week and then give us a day the next. So they'll be coming the next week as well. Tuesday, I've got Mayor Stone of Providence coming. Wednesday, Lebanon Mayor Bernie Ashe is going to come and hand out goodies and chat with everybody. Thursday, Philip Price from Middle Tennessee Electric. He gives out good prizes at the fair, and I'm all about good prizes. Friday, United Healthcare will be coming. And let me just remind everybody, I think I got a minute. If you want to renew your walking pass at the Jimmy Floyd Center, you need to come by and renew your membership. And we'll get you all fixed up, and you can have your walking pass at the Jimmy Floyd Center. But I want to tell you one real good story. I can tell it real fast. Wednesday, when Sean Dozier was there from the pavilion, Mr. Harry Harris pulled through, and Sean noticed his Lebanon Clown baseball license plate, and we got a really cool conversation started with Mr. Harry Harris, and he is actually the last surviving member of that 1953 Lebanon Clown team, which was the Black Baseball League or the Negro Baseball League. And he is such a cool guy. He's so cute, and I always tell him he has a mischievous grin, and I know he's up to something, but I'm hoping to maybe get a nice interview on Facebook Live with him. And every day has been a fabulous story. I could tell you a story about every single day that we have done our lunch pickup. Joe and Pat Carter were the ones that got out and danced when Judy and Medina were there. So it's been, we have loved that hour outside every day, getting to see all of our friends.
Well, I guess we'll do it again next month.
We will. We're going to do it next month, and hopefully I'll get to tell you about September and we're going to open. I will mention, because the newsletters didn't leave the post office till like yesterday, although we took them last week. If you want to come by and have a chicken patty on a biscuit with macaroni and cheese and fried okra and homemade cookies, call us by this afternoon at 4:00, and you can come pick those up on Monday.
All right. Thank you, Teresa.
It's been great. Thank you.
And that's